to the topic of the discussion and hit the issues you typically find reluctant. Remove the facade to fill the gap with some substance. We undermining problems, expecting to overcome it. Please hold the applause. We doing it for the cause. People follow culture before they follow the laws. We rather face the friction and not attempt it at all. Persistence will find solutions once our contentment dissolves. There's a hard pill to swallow for anyone breathing, both for folks who stay woke and those who be dreaming. We ain't slaves, yet we still ain't experienced freedom. What we need is the keys to access the kingdom. We're all in this fallen world trying to stay intact. I'm just a beggar, point you out to where the bread is at. So follow the breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. And thank Yogi Bear and the thought engineer for that on Man Talk Monday. It's Man Talk Monday.
Woo! Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome back to Man Talk Mondays. I'm Derek, the thought engineer. And I'm here rocking with my man, comedian John Yogi. How you feeling today, man?
Man, AI is the word for the day. Hey, can you say AI? AI can make you look skinny and make you look good. Put me down for AI. Sign me up. Where I sign up, D?
So you talk about how people be doing these different pictures with AI, and they, you know, the face, but the body don't look nothing like.
We just saw one, and it was it tickled us. How about that? Hey, but I'm doing good, man. I've been thinking about the show since we booked her, because it's gonna be a good one tonight. Can't wait to get into it.
We got a hot one for you tonight.
Wait to get into it. Yeah.
Before we get into it, let me remind everybody this is Man Talk Monday. It's an open forum where we talk about the real rational realities of relationships, but of course we're doing it from a man's perspective. Now keep in mind this conversation is not just for men. We want everybody to join in. You're welcome to have this conversation with us. How you do this? You go into the comment section. Leave your comment, leave your question. We can see this, but by all means, we want to hear from you, kinfolk. Where you at?
Pull up a chair.
We need our kinfolk.
Smoke on, drink on. Smoke, drink. That's about it, ain't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Peanut butter crackers, too. I love peanut butter crackers. Get some peanut butter crackers in the house. We love them.
He like them old saltines, dude. Just let y'all know. Yeah, no club, no Ritz. He just straight saltine, them premiums. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Not the premium.
That's what they talking. Yeah.
What you wrong for that?
That salt, scratch your mouth, scratch your tongue. Yeah, that's what he on.
The military did that to me. They did that to me.
Well, we're going to go on and jump into this. So let me ask you a question real quick. Ask you a question. Have you ever looked in the mirror and you doubted the person who was looking back at you? Have you ever questioned if you were good enough, if you were smart enough, if you were talented enough to get the job done? Do you feel like you're worthy of the life that you really want? Wow. If you have this issue, if you have this problem, we might have somebody who can help you tonight. Right?
And I just want to say, who hasn't at one time or another hadn't looked in the mirror and said, quit playing because you know you can't do it. Quit playing because you know that ain't you. Quit playing with me because that is not you.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. It's amazing how people doubt themselves, how we taught to doubt ourselves. As a matter of fact, we're taught to doubt ourselves. And so we brought a little help in for some people tonight. So tonight, joining us, we got the Self-Esteem Bestie, Miss Danesha MoNek, who is a life coach who helps people with this particular issue of self-esteem.
Listen, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We hear you.
We can't hear you.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
We can't hear
you. Good. You good. You good.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Yeah. We're good.
I can't hear y'all.
Oh, she can't hear us. She can't hear us. All right. Got a little technical difficulties right now for a second. Y'all just bear with us. We're gonna work it out. All right. Still can't hear us?
It literally just soon as it started, it went out. Y'all can hear me, but I can't hear y'all.
Okay. So what we'll do, we'll keep it rolling, and you just let us know when you can hear us, and then we can proceed from that standpoint. All right. So something, my wife is in this master class. She was taking this master class, and it's entrepreneurs, and I don't know if anybody out there is an entrepreneur or something, but entrepreneurs typically run into this thing of really questioning if they can do it, if they're worthy enough. But the person with the masterclass gave an example. She said, why do we doubt ourselves? And she said, take your resume, all the skills you have, all the knowledge you have and everything, take your resume, everything that's listed on there. And then she said, now put somebody else's name on the top. She said, do you believe that they can do all this stuff on there? Then why won't you believe that you can do it? It's your skills and all this type of stuff. But because your name is at the top, you begin to doubt if you can really make it happen.
I think we have gotten accustomed to doubting ourselves. It just seems like I believe it is so much easier to believe in somebody else than it is ourselves oftentimes.
Yeah.
We believe everybody else can do these things, but not us.
Yeah.
We've been kind of conditioned or programmed to believe that good things don't happen to us, that they happen to other people.
Oh man. And the conditioning is real. The conditioning is real. So Miss Danesha, can you hear us now?
Yes, now I can hear you. I have
all right.
Soon as you brought me on here, it just went. I'm like,
hey,
okay.
we gonna work it out. We good. We gonna work it out.
Mute.
We good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have, like I said, the Self-Esteem Bestie, Miss Danesha MoNek, here with us tonight. And real quick, just kind of let the people know who you are, what it is you do, and everything.
So I'm a self-esteem coach. I help women rebuild their self-esteem from the inside out so they can begin to live the life that they want, as far as relationships, jobs, career, all of the above.
And just women, no men. Men, we can't sneak in the class.
No, listen,
we can't sit on the back row in the class.
My boot camp that I have coming up on July 15th, right? 3 men signed up. I'm a little surprised.
I don't know why. We need help too. Yeah. Listen, we have been programmed by the same thing you guys have.
Yeah.
That's understandable. I just, I've been a woman my whole life. I just don't cross over into trying to tell a man how to.
Well, we don't listen most of the time either. But but when it's something like this that I think will be very, very beneficial for us, I will be surprised if you didn't have just as many men as you do women, because we want to learn and grow as well.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, and I think we have the same forces working against both of us. Part of the attack is the division that people put between men and women, but we really suffer from the same things. I remember seeing this video where this mom was going in on her own son. He was talking to his girlfriend on the phone, and he was telling the girlfriend, hey, bring me something to eat and all that kind of stuff. And she stopped him and said, don't you be bringing him nothing to eat. And I'm like, it be your own people, man. It be your own people.
Well, we don't know. They don't know because they don't know.
And she began to.
Women don't like their kids. That's just.
Oh, wow.
Some women
we're gonna talk about it.
They don't like their sons because that son remind them of the person they had kids by, and they are still bitter and they can't get over it. So like it really has less to do with the son and more to do with the mom, and it's actually showcasing who she is.
He looking just like Slewfoot, ain't he? Look just like Slewfoot, don't he?
But you liked him at one point in time. You lay down with him.
Right.
Girl, you just hold on. We're gonna get you with you. Just hold on. Hold on.
So kind of tell us, how did you start on this journey to become this self-esteem coach? How did you start on this journey?
This gonna sound so bad, and I do not mean it to sound this bad, right? I came from a family. So one of the generational curses within my family is most of the women, they don't have any self-esteem. They stay in the toxic relationships. They do the toxic friendships. They mistreat their kids because of and I looked around and I couldn't find anybody that I wanted to be like. So I started going to therapy. I went to therapy and that lady knew too much about me too fast. So now I want to know the cheat code. So I ended up going to psychology school. I earned my bachelor's. I'm in the middle of finishing my master's in psych. And I just decided, I found out with studying psych that every decision we make is based upon how we see ourselves. And how we see ourselves have everything to do with our self-esteem. So if you don't see yourself accurately, you're not going to choose the right friends. You're not going to choose the right partner. You will lowball yourself in a job if you don't think that you deserve it. You
said every decision that we make is based on how we see ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is. I'm gonna be riding home chewing on that tonight because that's powerful. Wow.
I don't know if because we have some technical difficulties. I don't know if you heard the example that I gave earlier about this masterclass my wife is in, and it's people who are trying to be entrepreneurs and stuff like this, and people were questioning themselves so much that the person gave an example. She says, take your resume, all the skills you have and everything, and then put somebody else's name at the top. Do you have more faith in them than you do yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing how we will downplay, we will question, just all kinds of stuff. And how does that rob us of the good life?
It robs you of not just the good life, it robs you of everything. Like it robs you of everything. I was like that for almost 30 years before I was like, you know what, it's not going to work for me. And I've always been talented. I've always been smart. I had somebody tell me, a family member, she was like, I swear, I did not know you was this smart. That's how dumb I played. Of my life. She had no idea that I had the wisdom and the intellect that I had, because every time I would go around family, I would act small. My family now to this day, like, they don't know who I am. They are just now getting to know me because I played a role and I performed for so long. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't like myself. And I that's how I performed.
So let's, because I forgot to introduce the topic. So what we talking about tonight? We're talking about self-esteem reboot, unleashing the inner winner. Self-esteem reboot, unleashing the inner winner. All right, so I just wanted to cover that. But real quick, why did you downplay your intellect?
Okay, look, so if y'all don't know, I'm super honest, and a lot of stuff is gonna seem like it's cliche because you heard it before, right? But it's the truth. Mm-hmm. So when I grew up, my parents were baby boomers. So a child was to be seen and not heard. And I think that people think neglect is just leaving your child in the house. Wow. No, a child that is not seen and not heard may not develop a voice, or they may become people pleasers, right? Because they're trying to get so much attention. Either you're going to be avoiding or you're going to, do the most to try to get their attention. So mine came from, I was a child, I wasn't seen, I didn't have a voice, I did not know I didn't learn my voice until I was 30. Like making decisions for myself outside of what somebody else thought I was 30. I'm only 5 years into this, right? It took me that long to trust myself because I never had to. My mom would help me make the decision. My dad will always step in and help me make the decision. Sometimes we cradle our children because we don't let them figure it out. We are making the decisions for them. And then when my mom died, I went through an identity crisis.
Trying to figure out who you are without her.
I didn't know who I was at 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mine happened at 19. Mine happened at 19. I was just hitting that kind of adulthood, and my mom passed. I lost my drive. I lost my focus. I lost a lot because everything was about her.
Yep.
So it took me a long time to just kind of refocus myself. Yeah. So I definitely can relate to what you talking about. So you got a thing because where we discovered you were doing a talk on TikTok about your self-esteem has a language. Mm-hmm. Your self-esteem, it was brilliant. I just have to say it was brilliant.
It was.
But if you would kind of explain to the people that's listening right now what you were talking about when you say self-esteem has a language.
So
low self-esteem has a language.
Yeah, low self-esteem has a language. So I believe it's a gift. I don't know. I think it's a gift from God because I don't know how I have it, but I can tell just by how you talk about yourself, how you feel about yourself. So most people talk about themselves like they're not in the room. Like you can't even take a compliment. Somebody gives you a compliment. I had this so bad. Somebody was like, "Oh my goodness, your skin is so beautiful." I was so insecure that I would deflect the compliment. Like, no, girl, it's your skin. I couldn't. Like, no, girl, you can't got bumps and you. But so many women, so many people do that now, and they don't know. I'm like, yeah, you just deflected from somebody giving you a compliment. Wow. You can't accept gifts because, okay, what do you want from me? Or do I really deserve this? It is, you have a language in how you show up and how you speak about yourself every single day, even on your job. When you go into your job for the review, that's your moment to get your raise. The reason why you are not getting paid what you want to get paid is because you don't believe in yourself and you want them to see something in you that you don't see in yourself. And a job will pay you based upon what you allow them to.
Oh, wow.
It's not that they ain't got the funds, because there's people in there on
salary. Yeah, guess one thing about it, they got the funds. Especially if you work for a corporation, they got the funds.
What's funny when we see other people go in and get the money, we almost resent them. We like, oh, that devil gonna go in there. We call them everything but a child of God because they went in there and spoke highly of themselves, and now I'm waiting outside for them to come out so I can hit them in the head.
Hold up, I'll do you one better. I trained them. I taught them everything they know.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, I was on this job for 2 years, and within 2 years, I was making more than the lady that trained me. And she asked me one day, she was like, "How are you getting paid more than me? She was there like 6 years." I said, "Because when I go on that review and they pull up my numbers, you gonna pay me what I'm worth. Period. Point blank. I don't. All the other stuff ain't got nothing to do with me. But they gonna pay you what you think you're worth. So if you go in there and they only giving you 75 cents, and you accept it, that's what you're going to get.
Yes.
But you have to know your worth in order to teach somebody how to treat you."
Let me get Valerie. Valerie says, or they build a case against themselves to speak the opposite of the compliment or pick the compliment apart.
Yep. You know what that sounds like? "Oh, your hair is so pretty." "Girl, it's really not. I really need to do it over, and I didn't really like it like that." Girl, just take the compliment.
And keep it moving. And keep it moving.
Like, girl, you losing so much weight. "Girl, no, I'm not, because I can see it all right." Girl, just take the compliment.
So y'all just can't see it. I'm hiding it well.
You give me a compliment, tell me I look good. You just boosted my ego for the day. Okay.
So I ain't no more. I might be no more good.
Today, you telling me I'm losing weight.
Okay? But as you're saying this, I'm just conversations are popping up I can see people doing this. Especially like in church. Well, we so modest. Oh, we so modest in church. But this is what people do. And now I'm gonna be hyper aware of it now that you said that. And I may be telling people, no, take the compliment. Take the compliment. Monica James said, "That's my bestie." What's up, Monica James? Thanks for joining us tonight. All right, get some support in the house. No, that's good.
Somebody say, "Oh, girl, you looking good." You say, "No, you look." Yeah.
Man, if I had your arm, I cut mine off. You know what I'm saying? People say,
exactly. Don't give me no compliments.
Yep. So I couldn't take a compliment for years. I didn't think I deserved it either. I didn't think I was pretty. I didn't like my skin. So when I get those compliments, I'm like, nah, they can't be talking to me because I'm not pretty. My skin is not pretty. That's not for me.
So is it more important to figure out why we feel that way or why we need to stop feeling that way? Which is most important?
So you got to get to the root. It's just like gardening, right? In order to get something bad up out of your garden, you just can't go cut. You got to pull it up from the root in order to get it out. Otherwise, it's going to keep growing. You got to go find the root to the problem first. You have to.
So you kind of spoke about a minute ago how you say you grew up with baby boomers and you know kids should be seen and not heard, that type of thing. What are some of the factors that lead to people having low self-esteem? What are some of those roots? My wife said, "Baby," Dr. Selena says, "Baby, that skin is flawless." She's talking. So she's taking the compliment. She's
taking my compliments. The root cause of having low self-esteem really comes from, I'm going to say this, a lot of millennials, our self-esteem is lower than any other generation.
Oh, wow.
Because we grew up with the baby boomers, right? Like, they grew up in a time where everything was still segregated at one point in time, right? Like, so controlling your children comes off as narcissistic, but it really was to protect, because back then, if you got in trouble, you could be on a tree somewhere. So your mistakes you had a bigger consequence to them. So they meant well, but the generation had changed. The times had changed, right? We went to school with kids of all different races. They don't know what that is. They just know how to control, to protect. It was really out of protection, right? So if
that is good. So no, cause you know what? Because we look back on our parents, and man, it just seemed like they were so controlling. We were almost terrified of them because they were so controlling. I've never heard anybody, and because they were so controlling, we were like, oh hell no, we're not gonna be like them. We're not gonna be like they were. We're gonna allow our kids to do this, and now they running them up, and we can't get them back.
That it was really out of just protection, but they grew up in a different time. Like, I have two sons. These are the smartest kids. Let me tell you something. At 17, I was dumb. My 17-year-old, he told me, I was like, why are you not dating? He was like, Mom, I don't have a job. You still pay my phone bill. Why would I be? I said, boy, who taught you that? I said, that makes so much sense. I was 17 and pregnant. So I'm like, oh, but never mind. Well, maybe you're right, because you don't need to be dating if you ain't got no money. Because where y'all going?
Right.
That's true.
You know, like, you have nothing to. You know what? You're right. I guess I'm gonna leave it alone. But it's stuff like that. Gen Zs are gonna do relationships so much better than us.
Wow. Let me get Valerie. Valerie says some parents speak their kids' purpose instead of getting it from God.
Valerie?
So Valerie on to something, huh?
Let me tell you something. Are y'all Christians?
Yes. Absolutely.
So y'all know this story, right? I always
been baptized too.
Look, I had to ask.
Blood washed, everything. Everything.
Gotta ask. It's a lot of
you're right. Name in the Lamb book. Yeah.
One of the stories, every time I hear that, right? Jesse had 8 sons. He didn't have 7.
Yes.
He had 8. One of them he didn't believe in so much he never even called him into the house, and that was gonna be king. He had a king in his house the entire time, right?
Come on now.
But the only person who knew his potential and what he would grow up to be was God. Only the creator of a thing knows the capacity of a thing. My parents are looking down right now, y'all. They are so surprised at how I turned out. This was never supposed to happen. Not for me.
Wow.
Right? Because I played dumb for so long. I never really opened my mouth. This wasn't supposed to happen to me. Like, I wasn't supposed to be the doctor in the family. That wasn't supposed to be me. I got pregnant at 17. Everything that said Danesha was going to do something different, Danesha was outside in her 20s. Versus who I am now, once I gained a relationship with God at 28, right? My own relationship. Everything changed. My parents were probably looking down at me like, there's no way. But they had no idea.
Yeah. They say, who is this girl right here?
They had no idea. My aunties and my uncles be calling me like, girl, I'm so proud of you. I never thought it would be you though. I said, I didn't. I'm still surprised.
So what was that moment? What was that moment where you said, you know what? That's it. This is it. I'm done. I got to change this. Was it a specific moment or was it?
It was an age. Something clicked at 28.
Oh wow!
I got back in church. I had left church for a while. Child, I called myself being an atheist. That didn't last long. I got back in church. I was actually reading my Bible and studying on a regular, fasting when God told me that. Like, I was really listening to God. And in 2017, He was like, "Oh yeah, you're going to be a doctor." I'm like, "Yeah, I always wanted to be a surgeon. I go back to be a surgeon." He's like, "No, like I want you to go to psychology school." I said, "No, I can't do that. That's not for me," right? And what clicked is all the women in my family, other than like my mom and my dad, no woman in my family was married, could keep a marriage. They were always angry, rah-rah, yelling, yelling. They'd tear a man down so fast with that tongue. And some of them are still like that. I didn't want that. I wanted a healthy relationship. Even though my parents were still married, they were toxic. They fought physically. It was emotional and mental abuse. It was a lot of narcissism. I didn't want that. I didn't want that. I moved to Texas and I saw Black couples my age thriving.
Wow.
And buying properties together. I've never seen that in my life. Had I not been exposed to it, I would have never thought it was possible. But I knew I wanted a healthy relationship. I didn't want to be the yelling, screaming woman, tearing a man down. I didn't want to be her. I didn't like it. I didn't like when my parents did it. So I just decided to do the opposite. I couldn't do it.
You know, let me apologize. I am so into what you said. I'm like, I'm on TV. Like, go on, girl. Talk,
he
talk
forgot.
that talk.
He forgot we doing the interview right now. He's so locked in. He's just like,
because I can identify with generational things that you see, that you grow up seeing, and and a lot of times we get used to it, and we think that's the way things are supposed to be. And I'm just tripping because you said one day it clicked that, you know, you start look. You said something key. You said I start looking like somebody, looking for somebody I could be like, and couldn't find it. Girl, you said something. Do you know you said something? You said something.
Listen, when women tell me, "Oh my goodness, you the big sister I never had," I just break down and cry. You know how long I've been fighting? I have 4 older sisters. Do you know how long I've been fighting for a sister? God literally made me into what I was looking for. I was looking for me the whole time.
Ooh, you
be the change you want to see.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, be the change.
Said I was looking for me the whole time. Girl, you better talk that talk. You hear me? You are talking that talk. You hear me?
Monica James says, but because you got pregnant at 17 is the exact reason why it was meant to be you, baby.
Y'all not gonna have me on here crying. Look, I'm gonna
would she be the first?
No,
Would she be the first?
No.
I think I
you was first.
Yeah. Keep it going. Keep it moving. Then go ahead.
She also says, then he gave me to you. See, it's Monica. Monica trying to do this.
She's trying to make me cry. I'm not doing
Monica. Monica is the culprit. She's trying to do this to you. Lucy says, for me, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. There were so many things I saw growing up that I didn't like. I saw what I didn't want and made sure I didn't go down those roads. Looking for me the whole time. Powerful. Wow. And I tell people a lot of times, I say, you know, Bible says God will give you the desires of your heart. Right. And people think that they take that as objects of desire. I say that's not objects of desire. He gives you the actual desire. And a lot of times forming that desire in you is a process that you would never sign up for if you had the choice to.
Baby, I could have been in the corner minding my business. That's
right.
What?
Right. Right.
I in my little corner. I was never one of those people that wanted to be in the forefront ever.
And that's typically the ones
who get pushed
that he pulls out. Monique says, this is good and I needed to hear it. So you helping some people tonight.
Listen, all I need is one. It ain't got to be that many. I'm not picky at all.
Monica coming for you. She gonna break it down. Monica says, no, I love you, but I got you for life, babes. And I'm done now. Okay, so she says she's gonna back off. She's not gonna hit you in the heart no more.
That's my first flourishing friendship that I ever did that wasn't toxic.
That is good.
Wow.
But she's also a God believer, so I think it made it easier because we had the same values and our morals were the same. So, but
it matters.
Up until her, all my friendships were toxic. They were trauma bonds.
Oh wow. We gonna get in there.
She's just throwing words, trauma bonds. She's just throwing stuff out there. Like, and then she's talking about, y'all don't make me cry. You ain't gonna make me cry. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So you stop it. Stop it.
Now listen, Valerie to hit us with the all caps on this one. So she says, Valerie says, come on now, because no one see, because it needed to be uncovered because you didn't expect it. You looked for purpose according to God's agenda.
Yep.
Right. She said you tapped into the right source.
Yeah. Wow.
Basically, is what you did. You tapped into the right source. And you know, I think about, because we're talking about environment? You kind of mentioned you. So where are you from originally? So
I'm originally from Illinois.
She's originally from Illinois. Now you're in Texas.
Yes, which was a twilight zone.
Culture shock. Yeah, Texas is a little different. Texas is a little different. So was that part of your transformation? You say, you know what, I need to just get away from all of this. And so how important is it for people to change those surroundings?
So the real reason I kind of ran to Texas, but it was a good thing. And I knew I had to run. So I had just got out of a narcissistic relationship with a man who was 10 years older than me, but my family loved him.
Oh, wow.
So when I left him, I had to leave him while he was at work. Clearly, I couldn't just leave. Ran to my family's house. I was so terrified that they were going to tell him where I was. I ran to Texas. And they would have told him where I was because they thought he was a good man. Because he didn't put his hands on me. He was a good man. Girl, but Molly, I'm in danger. I don't... You know, like, he is locking me in rooms. He is, you know, like, man.
Well, what you talking back is what I want.
Oh, yeah, because he got money. You should stay, girl. Just figure it out. I don't care about how much money he get.
I have to ask the question.
Sneak out of the house.
I have to ask the question. I just have to. It wouldn't be me if I didn't ask. Now, you say the relationship was toxic. Was it just toxic from him, or were both you guys toxic at the time?
At that time, both of us were toxic.
Okay.
But he was more dangerous. I was more all talk.
Oh, okay.
Like, I found out his rap sheet.
Oh, he had a rap sheet.
Man, we got into a real big argument. Somebody called the police. They automatically arrested him. I'm like, we didn't get into a fight. I don't know what's going on. The next day, they kept him in custody. The next day, the DA came to my house.
Oh, wow.
And y'all look like a doggone pamphlet. And he was like, I need you to look at that. And I was like, I'm like, I already know he got a background. I know he was like, but you don't know what he got a background in. All of his cases were beating on women.
Oh, wow.
Now, I knew he was a little bit too calm for my liking, for my mouth to be what it was at the time.
Was your mouth something?
He was like, the only reason why he probably didn't touch you is because he's still on papers.
Oh.
But he had been beating up girls since the 90s. I didn't think that I was exempt from that. Like, my mind didn't tell me, oh, he's going to treat me differently. No, because you literally just got out of jail 2 years ago for breaking a restraining order and shooting somebody, your girlfriend, your baby mama's boyfriend. Nah. So when I found that out, the next day, I had called my friend. I said, I need to get out of here within the next 24 hours. She was like, how you going to leave? I said, he got to go to work. I left while he was at work in the middle of a storm. And ran back to Illinois because I was in Wisconsin at the time. But my sister, I stayed with my sister. Y'all, she was finna tell on me.
What?
He knew exactly where I was and where I was staying.
So you say the DA was like, I don't know if you ever seen Ghost, the movie Ghost.
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah. Molly, you in danger, girl.
Molly, you in danger.
The DA was like, Danesha, you in danger, girl.
At 26, 25, him locking me in a room until I changed my mind about leaving him. You have to understand that the environment, I thought it was normal.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I was talking to my wife the other day, and it's funny because not being fathered, and this is relative, not being fathered like you're supposed to, sometimes we'll put up with any version of a father, even if it's the wrong version. And if you have to get older and look back and say, wait a minute, this is not how things were supposed to be. Something's wrong with this. I just thank God you didn't have to get old before you realized that something was wrong with that. Because normally we don't get it till much later.
Yeah.
He was, and the crazy thing is after I got out, I realized he didn't look like my dad, but his personality was my dad.
Yeah.
I was 2 seconds from becoming my mother. That's why my mom didn't see anything wrong with his behavior, because she still was tolerating that for my daddy. You know, like, so
yeah.
They still don't see nothing wrong. I still have a sister be like, girl, you know, he just got out of jail again, y'all. Like, girl, just give him another chance. Girl, no, I'm not. I don't even have a mugshot. What are you doing? I don't understand what you're talking about. But when people think stuff is normal, it's normal.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the show, remember, please like, share, and subscribe. And for our TikTok fans and followers, follow us and like us on TikTok because we want to go live from there as well. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Now back to the Self-Esteem Reboot, unleashing the inner winner with Man Talk Monday and special guest Danesha MoNek.
You got it. All right.
I got it.
You got it. Dr. Zelina says, you partner how you are parented. Wow. And that's something for people to think about. That's something for people to think about. I have seen people make some horrible decisions.
You say horrible.
Bro, I mean,
you lean on that word too.
People, I grew up family. I'm the only boy. So number sisters. And I love my sisters. But you can't make decisions for people. And I've seen my sisters make some decisions where I'm like, what in the world? But I looked at it and it was because of, I looked at how we grew up. I looked at the father issues. I looked at even the things with my mom, and I understood. You know, I didn't like what went on, but I'm like, I understand. Now, thank God, you know, they're not in those situations anymore. But during the time, it was horrible to watch. And you know, you can't just really step in and just, you know, start kicking people out and say, no, you just gotta kind of let it unfold. But it, you know, it turned out better. But I can still see the self-esteem issues. I have a sister who is, I tell her all the time, I say, girl, if you knew what you had, she is so talented. And I look at the job she has. Now she's doing better than she's done in the past. And I'm like, you ain't even scratching the surface as to what you're really worth.
Yeah. And
I try to drive that home to her all the time, because I want her to experience it before God calls her home. So what advice do you give women who've had years of, you know, just suffering from bad choices that stem from the low self-esteem they have? How do you begin to work with women like that?
We have to get to the root, right? We have to get to the root. So most people that make bad decisions based upon their self-esteem, I think people have to understand is that smaller version of you that felt that abandonment, that neglect, that trauma, that is who is making decisions for you right now. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. And until you put her in the back seat and get her out of the driver's seat, she's going to continue to make these drastic, impulsive decisions for you until you let her know that you got it.
So you're saying little you has to feel safe enough to sit down. Wow. Now I'm gonna tell you, I know this because me and my therapist had some talks, and Lil Derek gets in the way a lot of times. Lil Derek, he starts trying to drive, you know, and it takes me to be aware to say, no, this is not like that. Yeah, I got you, you good, and the whole nine. But just that recognition, telling people, hey, you know, so how do you get people in touch with get them to recognize the little person?
I have to have a conversation to figure out, and I listen to the language in which they talk, and I can tell exactly what happened to them to make them to respond to life the way that they do. So I had a client, she kept choosing bad men. So I'm like, okay, how was your relationship with your parents, right? Because you have to have an idea as to what a relationship looks like. There was a blueprint, whether you got the code to it or not, it was in here somewhere where you got it from, right? What did that look like? When we got to the root of it, she felt abandoned by her dad. So now she's choosing any man that thinks that she's pretty. He's supposed to think you're pretty. He's supposed to think you're pretty. That's a compliment. You shouldn't be flattered about the truth, right?
Wow.
So when we got to the middle of it, she was like, I'm like, so you are, that little version of you is fighting for attention from your dad. That's why you keep dating your dad.
Wow.
Because that's who's fighting for attention. You still trying to get him to see you. So the first person that has any looks at you long enough, no, absolutely not. You got to put her, that 6-year-old version where the dad didn't show up the way, you have to put her in the back seat. Because if you wouldn't give your 6-year-old daughter the keys to your car,
come on now,
she's going to crash.
Yeah, I think
he is so.
You got him going.
Well, it's funny because we can know something, because you're absolutely right. When people have bad relationships with their parents, they generally end up in bad relationships all the time, one after another. It's like what's wrong? What's wrong? But and it goes back to parents. They're looking for something in other people that they should have got from their parents that they didn't get. That's really good.
That's the same thing with friendships. Like I said I was gonna do a class on this. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know if I really want to. I'm gonna have to talk to God about it. But women claim that they don't know how to do friendships. It's not that you don't know how to do friendships. You got mommy issues.
Oh, you done stepped off in it now.
Wait a minute.
You done stepped off in it now.
Well, let me ask this. So why is it that it just appears so many women have mother issues? Because it's not a few. It's just like it's a lot. As much as men have dad issues, why do so many women have mother issues?
That's
because depending on how you were raised, like we grew up in a culture where my mom did the best she could. I'm not gonna lie, right? God rest her soul, she did the best she could. But she was also she got pregnant at 16, right? She was adopted. My grandmother and my grandfather gave her for adoption to my great grandmother. Now, if I expected her to know how to be a mom, it would be crazy, right? Knowing what I know now, she did the best she could, but it wasn't good enough. My mom would put men before me. It wasn't on purpose, but she was still a little girl fighting for the attention of her dad. You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
I do.
A lot of these things be generational pathologies and habits passed down through generations.
Yeah.
Women, the moment I healed my mommy wounds, which is around like 2020, right? 2020, my mom was passed by then, but I had got to the root of it, right? In therapy. I started to have multiple flourishing friendships. I stopped trauma bonding. I stopped leading with my trauma. Oh yeah, both our baby daddies ain't nothing. They're not taking care of our kids, so now we friends. No, you don't know that woman. So when she sleep with your man, you like, oh my goodness, I can't believe she did it. You never knew her. You guys were in a relationship and a friendship because both y'all baby daddies want nothing, or you were bonded off of trauma. It was never a real thing. Yeah.
And speak about that trauma bond real quick. I think people hear about it, but they see it play out in relationships, but friendships, I don't even know if people make that connection of that trauma bond in friendships.
Yeah. Every gang member is trauma bonding.
Oh, wow.
Y'all gotta understand, I'm from Illinois. Every gang member that is in the gang right now is trauma bonding. They are in relationship and in a brotherhood based on what their parents didn't do, and because they have this, or because of what kind of trauma they have that is identical. That's it. Most of them, their dad wasn't around, so they decided to get some type of. It's a trauma bond. So you see when they go to court, the guy done told them, they're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe he did this. You never knew him. Y'all are in relationship based on what happened to y'all. That's it. You don't really know these people. You lay it based on your pain and your hurt, and you think that it's a genuine. No, it's not, because you never got to know their character. You don't know what their morals are. You don't know if they got a lick of integrity. You know nothing. Y'all just relate because y'all been through the same thing.
Wow. Valerie says, Mom didn't have the backbone back then to deal with society at that time, and she had daddy issues and passed the residuals of that on in the absence or acceptance.
My mom was a great provider. She was not a good mother though. But materialistically, I had everything. But I don't remember getting hugs from my mom. I don't remember the I love yous. I was well off into my late 20s by the time my mama, before we got off the phone, it would be I love you. Me and my siblings don't know what that is.
Wow.
We didn't have it. But guess who did give it to us? Our dad. So our bond with our dad was a lot different. And my mom was like, y'all hate me and y'all like him. No, we know him.
Oh, wow.
We don't know you.
My mom,
you saying a whole lot right now.
Because that's not who my mom was. She wasn't. I think my brother was crying one time and he was looking to her for comfort. She was like, don't nobody care about you crying.
Yeah.
Straighten your face up. The world don't care about you crying. And in her trying to raise me and my two brothers, she was so hard that she forgot to be a mother to us.
Yep.
And so it was. Okay, I'm sorry.
That feminine quality is still needed in the house. That's why a 2-parent household
yes.
is not a 2-parent household unless you have the masculine and the feminine. In this case, my dad was both of them by himself. My mom was just masculine.
Wow. Let me get Dr. Selena says. She says situational representation is misconstrued as friendship.
Yep.
Lucy says trauma bond. Love it. All right, we got a couple of people. Valerie says therapy. Listen, people need it. Monique says, is this the same for women who doesn't usually trust other women? The mommy issues?
Yeah. I didn't trust other women because I couldn't trust my mom. My mom let me down. I can't tell you how many times she just did not show up. I was in piano. I was in
wait
dance.
a minute. Let me tell you. Let me tell you this. My mama let her friend tell me she was going to take me to the Michael Jackson concert. And the woman did never show up. Derry, stop laughing. The woman did never show up. And my mom, that was okay. Disappointing me like that at that age was okay. And that scarred. I am 99 years old and I still talk about that like it was yesterday because that scarred me. And it's funny, but it's so.
But he talks about this all the time. He talks about this all the time. But it's something that really.
Let me tell you something. When your parents tell you they're gonna do something they don't, they automatically are telling you not to trust nobody else in the world. Because if you can't trust your parent, you can't trust nobody. Yeah. That's what your brain will tell you, and your brain is set up for you to survive. It's trying to keep you out of harm's way. So because he had that scar, right, of his mom not showing up, now it's going to be very difficult for him to trust women, right? Sometimes it's going to have to be reassurance. It's not because, it's really because what happened to him. That really is a big deal.
Michael Jackson too? Michael Jackson was the dude.
He is, when he see her, it's on site. When he see her, it's on site. All right, Valerie says someone was hard to her.
Yep.
No, absolutely.
Janelle says, hey, y'all. Hey, Janelle.
Absolutely.
Valerie also says you better put this in a jar and sell it, Danesha.
Absolutely. This is good stuff.
I already am. I'm a coach, y'all. I coach women all day.
Tell them. Go ahead. Let them know real quick.
Yeah, I coach women all day. So you can book one-on-ones on my site. You can come to one of my self-esteem boot camps. That also comes with 4 weeks of coaching from me. If you come to the boot camp, plus you get that's why it's how to rebuild your self-esteem 30 days. I'm not gonna leave you out there to dry. I'm a coach you for the next 4 weeks to make sure that we get whatever needs to come out. It's kind of like therapy.
Boy, I bet you got to be sponsored by clinics because there's gonna be some tears around there, boy.
Yeah, because this is my third boot camp and I'm already about to sell out of this one again. So I'm like, I'm not doing another one until September. I need a break.
So what's the website for the boot camp?
Yeah, what's the website?
You can hit my one of my social medias and go to my link tree. Right now, the boot camp is only $75 until the end of June, so you better get it.
Just a couple more days.
Yeah,
just a couple more days. So the link tree is in the profiles, and then you'll get to the website through the link tree.
Yep.
So y'all got that. It'll
be right up on top. They'll be able to see it. It say Self-Esteem Boot Camp.
All right. So this is in person or is it virtual?
It's virtual. It's virtual. So it's
virtual.
Live. You're going to be able to talk to me, ask me questions, whatever is necessary.
Nice. Nice.
That's good stuff, man.
Nice.
And so how did God let you know that other people needed this? Because oftentimes we get stuff we think is just for us. How do we know that? How did God let you know that this needs to be shared with other people?
You're not about to make me cry on here.
Come on now.
So in 2018, God told me the old version of me had to die, which was hard because that means I had to let go of all of my old ways of thinking. And I knew I was about to go through a pruning season. In this time, God also told me that when I take your covering, you're ready. My covering meaning my parents, because that's who helped me make decisions up until, the next year my mom passed. 19 months after that, my dad passed. I said, well, God, I ain't ready because I like, you just took the last piece of me. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. I did not feel qualified. And then he, in a dream, showed me everything I went through, from the essay I went through when as a kid, all of, Lord, y'all gonna have me on here crying. The rapes and the molestation I had to go through as a kid from family members, the foster care I had to go through when my mom and my dad were in prison. Just all the things. I thought it was for me. I thought that I did something wrong to deserve everything that I was going through. And in 2022, he showed me that he did all that so I can help other women get through it.
Wow.
That entire time, I thought that I just had bad luck and I was just under attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a full circle moment that it was never for me.
Wow.
It was, I needed that story to be able to help other people.
Yeah. Because people will hear you talk and they'll be like, oh, that's good. And they'll still question if you can relate.
Yeah.
And I tell people, I had this thing I call wounds versus scars, right? Wounds still have pain attached to them, but scars, there's evidence that there was trauma, but there's no pain attached anymore. But your scars make you relatable. And we try to cover our scars, and the scars is what we need to bear to show people, listen, I know what you're going through. I know where you've been. I've come through that same thing. So when I talk to you, I'm not just telling you something to tell you something. I want to help you like I was helped. Yeah. And so, the story is powerful. The story is definitely powerful. So, now we don't mean to get you on here crying and stuff, but if it's gonna help somebody,
exactly.
Lucy, she said, powerful testimony. Powerful testimony says, thank you for your courage. Hearing your why is so valuable.
Thank you.
People need to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely.
People need to
hear it.
I
don't do it for me. I do it because I really be trying to be obedient, and when I'm not obedient, I get dragged. And I don't know if y'all ever tried to fight God. It don't go over well.
No, it don't really work out.
I used to all the time. I used to all the time. Yeah.
Just do what you told. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to.
You know, it's awesome, really, to being able to connect with the person that you see on TikTok. Oftentimes we see people come up in our feed and we so quick to flip. And so when Derek sent me the video, I was like, woo, who is this? And he said, hey man, I just made contact with her. She gonna be like, wow. I mean, because it's awesome. I can't really, you put in the words how great it is to come in contact with the person that put out such an outstanding video. Because what you're doing for women and men is outstanding.
Thank you. Outstanding. I appreciate that.
And I'm gonna tell you, you might want to start looking at men too. I remember Brene Brown. Brene Brown said that a man came up to her after she had a live event. Man came up to her and he had his daughters and his wife with him, and she signed their books and everything. And he said, it's good that you have this for women, but what about men? And she said she had never really considered men because all of her study had been focused on women up to that point. And he said, these women in my life, they love me, but if I'm not able to provide for them what I'm able to provide, he said, I don't even know if they would really care.
Oh.
She talks about shame and stuff like that. And he was like, you talking, but you're not talking to us. We hurting too. So consider men as well, because we have our issues. We do have our issues.
I might do that. I just, I've been a woman my whole life, and I don't like to
And we got you.
But I'm not opposed to it at all. Because my brothers call me for advice all the time. So
there you go. So if men start reaching out, just understand, because there's no mistaking when you hear people saying the right stuff, when you're hearing it right. Who's saying it to you, especially if you need it,
don't really matter.
It don't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a man or a woman, You just want some help. So it's gonna definitely be some men reaching out to you for some help. So
I'm male chauvinist, so if you ain't saying nothing, I ain't trying to listen to you. I'm so old school
Look,
that if you gotta be saying
you know
something.
how hard it is to get women to take accountability. Accountability.
Because we know how hard it is.
I was trying to get their attention first.
Ooh, we need a whole nother 60 minutes with that conversation. But we gotta wrap it up. So we're down to the part of our show where we do final thoughts. So we just want you to just take about 30 seconds and say anything you want.
She can take my 30 seconds. You take as much time as you need to talk to these folks.
Talk to the women.
Yes, take
whatever thoughts you want to leave them with. Now's the time.
What is the thought that I want to leave y'all with? You are not your mistakes. Your mistakes are something that you did. They are not who you are. You can recover from any mistake. I know what social media tell y'all. Y'all gotta stop listening to everybody, but you are not your mistakes. God allows us to make mistakes and repent from them for a reason. Those are our learning tools. That is it. That is all. But when you attach your mistakes to your identity, that is where that shame comes in. That is where that guilt comes in. And when you carry that stuff around, it is heavy. That is where depression falls in. That is where anxiety comes in. That is where your self-esteem starts to diminish when you think that you are what you did. That is not what it is. I was a 17-year-old girl pregnant, and my son is now 17. He's not in a gang. He graduates next year, and he is thriving. He just started his own business, right? If I would attach myself to what I did versus understanding that God does everything in his timing and for his purpose, you understand me? I would not be speaking to you right now at all had I just attached everything that I've ever done to who I was. Those are things that you can learn from. That's it. That's all.
Wow. Okay. So you are not your mistakes. Is that what she just said? She stole my thought. I was gonna say that. But anyway, so remember, guys, you deserve to be the best version of you. Remember, I always say this. You deserve to be the best version of you. Getting the help that you need will help you become the best version of you. Man, we got so much stuff that we're going through, and we're trying to bring people on that can help us kind of get in a mental state where we need to be. You deserve the best version of you. Forget anybody else. You deserve the best version of you, because you can't expect the best version of somebody else if you limping in there yourself. And that's my final thought.
If I were to leave you with anything, I'll leave you with this. Salvation is a gift that many of us fail to unwrap. There's way more in there than just eternal salvation. Because if you notice from this conversation, there's a theme here that God is running the show. And if you would check with him, he'll let you know the things that you've gone through, the things that have happened to you, how you can recover from them and how you can heal from those things. But that's part of the package of salvation. Purpose, part of the package. Healing is part of the package. But if you never unwrap that gift, then you miss out on all of the benefits. That's for you right here, right now. I'm not talking about when you die. You don't have to die to experience a good life. It takes people like Danesha to explain to you that you are not your mistakes and all of the things that come along with it. And God taking her through that. God allowed her to go through some things so that she can deliver this to you. What is it that you could deliver to somebody else that God can take everything that you've experienced and be a blessing to somebody else? But we gotta unwrap that gift and give him that part of us that we try so much to hold on to so that he can bless somebody else. And that's my final thoughts.
Woo-wee.
That was good.
I still hadn't got over the decisions that you make are based on your self-esteem. I hadn't got over that. I'm still stuck on that part. I'm gonna just we're gonna leave and I'm gonna just sit in this chair and be like this. That's good.
Valerie said this was very beneficial.
Good.
She said it was fire. Lucy said great show. Right. So people loving it. real quick, one more time before we go, let people know about the program you got going on and how to find you and everything.
So all of my TikTok is Danesha MoNek. My Instagram is Coach Danesha MoNek. I do self-esteem boot camps every other month. I only have like 15 seats left, and this one is July 15th, where you get 4 weeks of coaching. You get a workbook. You get a lot of homework because healing takes a lot of work. And it is virtual, so it's over Zoom. You're gonna be in there with other women. You get one-on-ones with me weekly. You get every Monday we do a weekly check-in because everybody week starts usually on Monday, just to give you some motivation to keep you going. And you can find all that stuff on my website. You can reach my website on all of my social media platforms.
What's the name of the boot camp? You got a name for it?
How to rebuild your self-esteem in 30 days.
How to rebuild your self-esteem in 30 days.
Oh, that's good because I'm working on a boot camp called How to Undo It in the next 30 days.
Hey, I'm not about to play with you.
They're going to get you some repeat business, I guess. But listen,
good stuff.
We have definitely enjoyed having you on because I think this is your first podcast, right?
Yeah, y'all the first people that reached out to me. I was like, yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. We just beat the crowd.
We beat the crowd. Absolutely.
So
we thank you for the privilege of being, us being your first podcast to come on. So we appreciate you and we wish you nothing but success with your program, with your boot camp, and just all of the women you're gonna bless. So
thank y'all for having me so much. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, I thought Monica said my last thoughts. Bestie, you did this. I love you, and I am so very proud of you.
Good job. Really good job. Yeah. For this being your first one, you did a good job for this being your
awesome
first
job.
one.
Awesome job.
You.
Yeah, awesome job.
Everybody, thank you for everybody, thank you for joining us. We appreciate y'all. Hey, we'll be back next week with more, so don't miss it. Peace out.
Be blessed.